Alright, people, today we're going to do our second unit here on Codesters for 1001, 1002, 1003. And what we're going to do today is we're going to mess around with the coordinate plane. We're going to be masters of it. Here's our objectives. We're going to be able to identify points on the coordinate plane, use the glide to and go to commands to move your sprite, use the pen down command to make your sprite draw a line. Use a collision event to hide sprites on the stage. So we'll see what all that means in a second, but let's look at like one example, what your end product could look like. There we go. All right, so this is our sprite. You're gonna see a lot of glide twos, a lot of more glide twos, pen downs and stuff like that, and pen up. You can change the colors and the thickness of the lines and all that kind of stuff. This is a involved one. You might not do one this involved, but that's fine. Let's take a look here. I'm gonna go to, I don't know, it doesn't matter. Let's go to 1002. Let's preview the lessons. I'm gonna start here on lesson 2. I'm gonna clear the lesson progress. Start at the very beginning. Oops, go back to the beginning. Alright, so let's look at the examples. Let's get started. So the coaster stage is an XY coordinate plane. We use the X and Y coordinates to put sprites in specific places and guide them around the stage. So right now we've got the 0, 0. We've talked about this in the last unit. But now we're going to actually use it. So let's click Run, Save and Run. So our sprite starts over here, moves around, picks up the different sprites, and then goes back down. Alright, got our check plus. That's all we have to do for that one, is see what we're talking about. Next lesson. So each location on the XY coordinate plane can be described by two numbers, like written like this. So inside parentheses, but the first number is the X coordinate, the left and right, horizontal, and the Y, and this is the second number, the up and down. And that's going to go from 250 is the maximum, and negative 250 is the lowest number. So to the right is positive for X, to the left is negative for X, up is positive for Y, down is negative for Y. So let's click Run here and see what happens. Click on negative 150, so I go to negative 150, and then positive 50, so I'm going up. Great work. Click on negative 200, 0. Alright, so I'm already on 0. Good. Negative 200, again, negative 100, so I'm going down. Negative 50 again, negative 50, then down 50. And your numbers will be different. Negative 150, everything's negative today. My mouse keeps moving around. Negative 150, negative 100, 0, so right in here 0 in the middle, negative 150 down. Alright, got 6 correct. Check plus, submit my work, move on. Alright, let's start our project by setting the background stage and choosing a sprite. So click on stage and drag out space. So stage, we're already there. Let's find space, drag it and drop it. Click on sprites over here and find UFO. You can just type search UFO, right? Space sprites, looking at sprites. You got it. Alrighty. I am doing this video at work, that's why I'm wearing the mask today. So I have a check plus, I've got my sprite, I got my space background, good to go. Submit our work, moving on. Whoa, that UFO looks too big. Let's make it a little bit smaller so we can fly it around the stage. So we're going to go to Actions, and we're going to set size. We're going to change the size of our UFO. I highlight it for you so it's easy to find. And we're going to change this number from 0.5 to 0.4. Now it goes on a scale. 1 is the normal size. So 0.5 would be half the normal size. 0.4 is a little bit less than the normal size, 40% of normal size. And you can get bigger than 1. If you want it to be twice as big as normal, you put it in 2, right? Let's save and run. See, now our UFO is a smaller size, about the same size as the planet. Submit our work. Move on. We can use actions to move our sprite around the stage. So click on Actions and drag out a Go To command. So you're going to go to Actions. You're going to find Go To right here. That's all you have to do. You see it went to -100, 50. Let me make this a little bit bigger so it's easier for you guys to see. Alrighty, moving on. We got our check plus, submit work, moving on. Let's move our UFO to start at Mars. The location in the command is a coordinate pair in standard form, x, y. Change the x coordinate to -200 and the y coordinate to -200. So right now it's -100. Change it to -200. Click over here, run. -200. Let's run that. See, now it starts over here. It goes to it over there. Let's submit our work. Let's move on. This program has a bug, which means we need to fix it. Rule: numbers in the coordinate pair are separated by a comma. So let's run it. Uh-oh, bad input on line 2. Codesters at point 50 space 150. Oh, we need a comma there. Let's put a comma right here. Let's run it again. Ah, now it works. So we have to separate our x and y with a comma. Inside parentheses, of course. Submit work. Next. Let's run, click on to see the pickup location. Let's run it. Alright, so we have to have our sprite go from here over to here, -100, -100. So we're going to put that, go to Actions. Let's find the pen down. There's two commands we have to have the sprite do. One is glide to, the other one is pen down, but you gotta do pen down first. So the sprite will put the pen down, so we'll start drawing. And then we have to do the glide to command, glide to. And it's gonna go to -100, change this to -100. Because here, if you look at it, -100 is x, -100 is y, put this right here. So let's run that. And you can see it draws a little line over here. Let's submit our work. Move on. Now the coaster is behind the UFO. We'll use an event to make something happen when they hit. Go to Events. Events is right here. Drag on Collision. Collision. Alrighty. So now we've got a collision event. Click Run to see what happens when the UFO hits the coaster sprite. Now, if you look at the code over here, we can't see because the sprite is behind the UFO. But it says define collision. These are the parameters. These are the things that this little mini program is relying on. Is sprite and hit sprite. So we have the sprite goes to 0, 0, then the hit sprite hides. So the sprite goes to here and then hides. Alrighty, let's click save. We got our check plus, submit our work. When we change the commands inside the event, we change what happens when a collision occurs. Delete the command that reads sprite go to 0, 0. Alright, let's get rid of that, it says. Now when the UFO touches another sprite, this sprite will hide, but nothing will happen to the UFO. Alright, so now the UFO stays here. Let's submit our work. Move on. Warning, this program has a bug, which means we need to fix it. New sprites appear at 0, 0. We can use the go to command to send them to another part of the stage. Click Run to see what's wrong. Alright, try finding the XY coordinate of the purple dot. So the purple dot is positive 200, positive 100. So it's telling us to go to 200, so we have to make it go to 200, 100. See, now it matches up. Check plus, submit our work. Let's go. Our UFO is pretty fast. Let's slow it down before it glides to the next target. Go to actions, drag out set speed. Let's go to actions. Let's find set speed right here. And drop it at the bottom of your program. I should have read that first, after the event. So here's our event, then we set the speed. Set speed tells the sprite how fast to move it. Alright. Larger numbers make the sprite move faster. Smaller numbers make the sprite move slower. That makes sense. Let's click save and run. There it goes. We have our great job, check plus. Didn't do anything because we didn't have the sprite move after I hit this other sprite, but we'll see what happens afterwards. Submit our work. Next activity. Now that we've set the speed we want, let's fly to the next coaster to pick it up. Click run to see the pickup location. Okay. Looks like we have to go to positive 150, negative 100. So we're going to do a glide to command. Let's go to actions, glide to, and so then go to positive 150 and negative 100. Let's run that and see if that one works. See, you could kind of see like the coaster sprite disappear when the UFO hit it. Check plus, submit our work. Next activity. This program has a bug. Even though it runs, it doesn't do what we want. So sometimes, like I said, programs might run, but it doesn't run the way that we want it to, so it's still a bug. Let's click save and run. Try changing the x-coordinate plane to get closer to the bike. So we want the kid to get to the bike over here. All right, so the bike is at negative 50, negative 200. We have it at we have it backwards. Negative 250. Great job debugging the program. Check plus, does that work? Let's pick up another coaster. All right, so where's the next coaster going? It's up here. So 150, positive 100 this time. Let's do another actions. Go to, glide to. Stays at 150. And positive 100. Not 200, 100. Alright. Check plus, so that work. Next activity. Let's go to our next pickup. Alright, next one. Let's see where we're going. Looks like we're going all the way up here. Negative 150, positive 200. So let's do another glide to. Negative 150, positive 200. Alrighty, let's run it again. There we go. Check plus, submit work. Moving on. There's one more coaster to pick up. Alright, where's the last one? Oh, over here. So this is at negative 200, positive 50. So let's do one more. Glide to. Negative 200. Change this to from negative 100, negative 200. Positive 50. It's already at 50. Let's try it again. Alright, good. Made it all the way around. Check plus, submit work. Moving on. Time to go back to home base. Send your ship back to Mars. From actions, drag out one more glide to command. So go to actions, glide to. Now remember, our home base is at negative 200, negative 200. Nope. Did I not do it? Did I put it in the wrong spot? Let me see. Alright, never mind. This is the wrong one. I already did one. Negative 200. Negative 200. There we go. Back here. Great. Made it all the way back home. Submit our work. Moving on. Let's celebrate our arrival with a flip. Go to Actions and drag Turn Left. So go to Actions. We're going to do Turn Left this time. And change the number of degrees to 360. So it's going to do a 360 and walk away. Not 3600, 360. So spin around all the way completely one time. If we did a 180, it would be upside down right at the end. There we go. Oop, doop, 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 doop. And spin. We did it. We made it home, and now we just celebrated. Submit work. Moving on. We're almost done with this unit already. Answer the question to the right by clicking on the correct answer. All right. What is the x value on the coordinate pair -50, 100? Remember, it goes x, comma, y, so the x coordinate value is going to be the first one, which is -50. For the line sprite glide to -50, 100, which direction from the center will the sprite move? So it starts up in the center, it's going to go to the left and then up. Oh, that's A. What's missing from the coordinate pair 150? Well, we need when we did our debugging, we have to have a comma between the 100 and the 50. Great, got them all right. Submit our work. Moving on. Now customize your program. Make sure you complete these minimum technical requirements. Try changing the background image or the sprite image. Log in, look in Actions to find the Set Color tool to change the pen color. Change the color in your Set Color command. Click Submit. All right. So let's change the background to something else. All right, background. I don't know. Let's change it to fall. You can see the list over here. Remember the names are all gonna be in lowercase. I'm gonna change the sprite to something else. Sprites. You don't have to change the sprite. It doesn't say. Let's just try changing the background or the sprite image. But I'm gonna do something that makes sense with the fall position, with the fall background. Maybe there's a fox. Let me see. There's a fox. Fox would make sense. Fox. All right, there's a fox. I think we did fox before, right? All right. Find a Set Color tool to change the color. Now, I'm going to put it before fox. Set Color. I want to make mine orange. So let's save and run. So it makes sense to put I mean, you could, I don't know if you would still get credit if you put the pen down. I mean, if you change the color after you did all the drawings and stuff like that. I guess you could, but it wouldn't do anything because you wouldn't be able to see the color because you have to have, remember, your program runs from top to bottom. Right? So you wanted to change the color first and then have the pen go down. Let's save and run it. Let's see what happens. There we go. We got our check plus. So let's take a look at what we did. We changed the background. You just have to do one or the other. I did both. Change your background or change your sprite or both. And then before you put the pen down, so like on line 5, I just went ahead, enter, made some space so I can drag and drop the Set Color thing over here to orange or whatever color you want to put in. All right, I got my check plus. Submit work. Next activity. All right, I'm not gonna do the last activity because I want to. I have to go do my proctoring, but I want to at least like show you what yours could look like. So what you're supposed to do is do a monogram for your project. So we're gonna use what we know about the coordinate plane to draw basically a set of to have your sprite put the pen down and move around and draw your initials, your first and last initials. So here's my example. So here, so DM, let's just run my program one more time. So let's look at the requirements. Set up your stage and sprite. Position your sprite at the start of your first letter. So I had mine start down here. You might start somewhere different, depending on where the letters of your name. And then I have my sprite, and my sprite I changed the size to 0.3 because I made it a little bit smaller. I use a scuba diver sprite since I'm underwater. And I have my sprite start down here at -200, -200. Then the pen goes down. I change the color to yellow, and I change the width of my pen to 10, so it's a thicker line, so it's easier to see. Then I have my sprite move around the different points on the coordinate plane to draw the letters. And then my pen goes up. It goes, I think maybe over here. Then the pen goes down, and then it does the second letter. So that's the way you're going to do it. So after you click Submit Work and do the next thing, you're going to submit a reflection. Make sure you do this. This is where you're going to write something. Here's the example I have. I had a lot of fun with this project. I forgot to put the pen down, but I figured out what was wrong and fixed it. That's called debugging. And then over here, I will give some comments and all that kind of cool stuff about what a great job you did on your program. So I hope this helps you. I'm going to go ahead and post this video on YouTube. Again, I will be in proctoring an exam today, and I will see you soon.